Hi, I'm Dave Dunnett, your professor for Group Dynamics. I'd like to welcome you to this course and give you a little introduction to what you might be expecting. Well, first of all, I want to explain the purpose of the course. The purpose of the course is to better understand how people function in groups. Almost everything that we do in life involves groups of people. Maybe it's just two people talking to each other. Maybe it's a small group like a family. Maybe it's a slightly larger group that's a work team or a family, or a very large group such as an organization that you might be working for. But in all of these situations, human nature causes us to act in certain ways, and we're going to study how humans tend to act in different groups so that we know how to better respond to different situations, and that we can know what to expect to happen given a certain set of situations. So the purpose of this course is to help you better function in whatever groups that you're a member of, whether it's a church, whether it's your work, whether it's your family, whether it's with your group of friends. It's to help you better function in groups. And so we're going to be building upon your group experiences. A lot of the work in this class is to describe the experiences that you've had in groups throughout your life and use the tools that we're going to look at in this class to describe and analyze what has been going on. Now let me tell you a little bit about my background. You probably saw from the course documents that I'm from California, and I live in Azusa, California. The main school that I'm associated with is Azusa Pacific University, and I'm sitting here in my office right now, and the window is open, and I see a beautiful view of the mountains a quarter mile away from me. So I imagine it's a somewhat different world than you're experiencing right now. But I'm available. I'm completely available by email, by messaging, by telephone, whenever works for you. Now, my background is that I'm a social psychologist, meaning that I'm a psychologist who studies normal people. I'm not a clinical psychologist that helps people work through problems, but rather I study how people interact with each other. And, of course, interaction in groups is a major part of that. To let you know, I've not always been a social psychologist. I started off my professional career as an electrical engineer. Worked for aerospace companies. I worked on projects like the Magellan probe to Venus, the Galileo probe to Saturn, and I also worked on the satellite that Google used to use to make Google Maps. So that's a part of my background. But then I was also a pastor for 17 years. I was a pastor in France, working with churches in the eastern suburbs of Paris for 17 years. And I came back to America, went back to school, and became a social psychologist to better understand how people function in groups, and specifically churches and other Christian groups. And that's the focus of my research, is better understanding how Christians function in churches, function in different groups, function in various organizations. So if you Google my name, you'll find lots of articles that I've written on various psychological interpersonal processes that occur in Christian organizations. And so that's what my passion is, and sometimes I might share some of my experiences as a pastor, and also some of the results of my research. So that's a bit about my background. Now, what can you expect in this course? First of all, you'll have a major team project that lasts all 8 weeks. You should start on it this week. In week 1, you should introduce yourself to your team members. And this major team project has 3 parts to it. The first part is that you're going to make a written proposal based on research, building upon your experience, and building upon research that you conduct, like a survey, something like that, on what Our Lady of the Lake could do to make online courses better. Now, this online course is an extremely intense online course. If you've taken other online courses, they're probably you'll say that they've been easier than this one. So this one's going to push you to the limit, and also you'll get a chance to reflect on what can be done to make online courses better. Not just this one, but all online courses at Our Lady of the Lake. So you'll make a written proposal for improving online courses, and you need to do some type of research of your own, collecting your own data, like through a survey. You've got to do literature research also on what else has been what other research has been done on online courses. And then the second part of that is you need to make a video with a short presentation in a creative and entertaining way, with passion and excitement, something that'll be entertaining to watch. Optimally, it'll be such a good presentation that it'll go viral on YouTube. Well, maybe not, but it would be great if it did. And the third part of the major team project is that you're going to analyze your group, how you guys functioned together. Some of your groups will function well, some of your groups won't function well, and you're going to write a paper that's described analyzing that. So that's a major team project that you'll work on all 8 weeks, but each of the 8 weeks, except this first week, which is really light, you'll also have various projects. Typically, in your weekly work, you'll have some type of forum where I ask you a series of questions, and then you respond to those series of questions in a main post, and then you respond to at least 2 other people's main posts, and then you respond also to the people who respond to your main post, including me, because I'll interact with these forums too. So you'll do a lot of class interaction with the forums. You'll have weekly assignments, 1 or 2 assignments per week, where there's some type of sheet with instructions, and you typically answer the questions. You copy and paste the questions, and then you use paragraphs to answer them, and you format it really nicely, and you submit a Word document, and I will look at it and see how you're doing it, integrating the different concepts of the class into the things that you've experienced in life in groups. And then a third part of the weekly work will be team media. Each of you are on a team, and you'll introduce yourselves during the first week in your team forum. But then for the weeks 2 through 7, you'll do a wiki project where everybody completes part of the assignment that's described. And each assignment should have enough direction so that you can see what you're supposed to do. So that'll be the typical weekly work. But then there's also 3 exams, and these 3 exams are really difficult. They're open book, open note, and you get to choose which questions you want to answer, but they're very in-depth questions that you really need to master the material to answer well. So do not wait till 10 p.m. on Sunday evening, when they're due at midnight on Sunday, to start. Leave yourself plenty of time to answer these questions very, very thoroughly. So that'll be weeks 3, 5, and 8. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you as we work together. And remember to not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions at all.